And if you're eating cereal every morning, I promise, you're going to need to spend a lot of... You better be up at 5 a.m. You better be a fucking morning person. Your ass better be at the gym right after that bowl of cereal. Or eventually you're going to have a fucking donut growing around your waistline. Because that's what happens to people that eat cereal every morning.
This is about control. Everybody knows. Everyone complies. We're the kinds of pros. I don't need a plane. I just hit the road. I do what I want. I can't sell my soul. Market about to crash. This is what you chose. Ruining the country. I think that's the goal. You gonna take the mark. I take narrow roads. I'm a man of God. I can never fold.
Now that we have auctioned off Lindy's farts, welcome to the Protect Your Purpose podcast, where we talk whiskey, business, friends, family, freedom, and farts. I am your host, Matt Marchese, and this is my amazing co-host, Zach Grady. Welcome
you're
to the
such
show,
a
bud.
sweetheart.
Yeah,
Thank
figured
you.
I'd start off nice to you today. I know you had a rough week.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. And of course, as always, is my lovely wife, Lindy. What's up, babe?
Hi, thank
Welcome
you.
to the show. Yeah, look at
Thanks.
that. There's your deal.
I'm gonna kill you after this, but all
Why?
is
'Cause
well right now.
Why? Because I let in with farts? We were
Yeah,
just talking.
Ian can't edit out farts every single word, every time you use the word fart. So she's upset about it.
So
Well, I'm just upset because you guys keep talking about it.
And that makes it so I cannot cut it out. Yes.
Exactly. We're making
Got
it
it.
impossible to edit all the farts.
Fart, 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 fart.
Yeah, lean into it, lady. Lean into it.
Good Lord. What are we drinking tonight?
yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Something less that doesn't get you gassy.
You know what? I think my least gassy product over there.
Yeah, what do you got over there?
I hope it's Basil Hayden Subtle Smoke.
Well, you can drink that. Lindy's drinking Basil Hayden Subtle Smoke.
Yes. It's my favorite.
I was going to get something else.
I'll get whatever you have, Matt. Not that that doesn't look delicious. I'm sure
You want
it's
to
fine.
open a new bottle? You want to do like a bottle crack?
Ooh.
Grab that High West. It's the really tall bottle. There you go. That's a nice bottle. Let's open that shit. Let's do it. So this is a Park City distillery. Make a great product. They've got High West. They've got a
Not a bourbon.
shitload.
I was taking off my flannel? Question mark?
I thought you were waving down a fart.
Yeah. Speaking of
Fart,
farts.
fart, fart, fart.
Fart, 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 fart.
Oh,
God, I thought I
my
did something wrong. I'm like,
I saw you waving over there, waving up a fart. You're just shaking off your sleeves. Looked awfully simple. This is the episode of the farts.
Dude, it broke off.
This is for the kids. It's all right. Doesn't really matter. Get that shit out of there. Anyway, High West. They do a great job. A lot of good products. They've got some good allocated, some sought after products. This is an allocated bottle.
Not a bourbon.
Yeah,
And
it's going to be delicious.
It's sealed very tightly, in case you're
It's
wondering.
because it came from the prison, and they don't want anyone to get into it because you know how those prisoners are. They don't share. I assume that's how it's got its name.
Well, this cord was supposed to go all the way to the top, I'm assuming.
So maybe we don't want to drink this
it
tonight
broke off.
because I'm salivating.
So what else we got back here?
Give me that. Let me help you out here, bud.
Look, the string broke off it.
Yeah.
how many podcasters does it take to open a bottle of whiskey?
I mean,
Correct.
I'm
Probably
I'm
takes
not
the
as,
one female over here
In fairness,
with the nails.
In fairness, it is really hard to do. But also, there's a knife right there that we can use for this.
get it.
Boom. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you, buddy.
Steve coming in clutch.
My brother, the Wizard of Oz. Coming in clutch. All right, so what are we talking about, folks?
Anyway.
What are we talking while I spend the next half hour to 45 minutes opening this up? What are we talking about today? Zach, you got anything you want to talk about?
Well, yeah.
Well,
I want to talk about your involuntary separation from social media. And
Oh, you noticed.
being off the grid.
You noticed, I assume? Or
For 36 hours.
Was that what it was? How'd it feel?
was it that long?
Yeah.
God, it felt like an evening.
It was kind of nice for a while, right?
Yeah, it was nice, except for the fact that as the hours went on, I knew that inevitably there were people that were trying to get in touch with me on important things, and I didn't know it.
Right. That's a tough feeling. Yeah.
It kind of sucked, but
So Matt's phone got stolen.
oh yeah. Let's talk
So
about it.
we were at a Christmas party Saturday night for Matt's networking group, EO.
This is ridiculous. The amount of work put into this bottle
Get a new bottle.
to get open.
No, he can't. You got to keep going now.
At this point,
We're committed.
We gotta know
we're
how
pot,
it
We're
tastes.
pot committed.
Pot
we're in on
committed.
it. You want to? Maybe I shave it.
So, anyways, we were at this Christmas party.
Anyway,
We went to the after party for a little while, and it was at the hotel. It was at a hotel bar downtown Omaha. And Matt decided to plug his phone in to charge it and went back a couple minutes later, and it was stolen. Gone, vanished.
like a 20-something bimbo at the bar, just plugging his phone in.
Yep. So he.
Did you call me a 20-something bimbo at the bar?
Sure did.
Grown ass man's phone dying on him. Middle of,
It wasn't even
he's
that.
some sort of popular guy on his phone.
It wasn't even that. I just wanted to make sure that I was able to call for a ride for us. It was
That is important.
It was getting a little late. Lindy's phone was already
Always dead.
dead
Always.
at the start of the night, and I knew we were 100% dependent on mine. The people there had started to take a turn. I was just trying to be responsible. And then all of a sudden,
Turns out I had to use the charger for my phone to call an Uber because his was gone.
but the good news is the fuckers didn't take the charger. They were kind enough. So I went out in the hallway. I got this bottle, by the way.
Atta
It's
boy.
done.
Atta boy.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You long.
I did it.
I've been smelling hers. I'm like,
Holy
Hurry.
shit.
up.
Oh,
How easy.
did you hear that?
I got that.
All right. Let's do it again.
Anyways, so we tracked the phone for the next 30 hours.
Yeah, it was
So,
interesting.
the Find My iPhone or whatever. The
All right, so there's a couple key points here. Number one, if you lose your phone, okay, the first thing you have to do, you're supposed to do, is if you've got a fancy iPhone or what have you, you can here. I'll tell you, poor. I'm not good at multitasking. What you're supposed to do if you lose your phone is you turn it off, the service. So you disconnect it. Deactivate is the word. Okay, so you want to be able, if you can either A, do it from your phone, so you can do it from the Find My app where you shut off the phone, you list it as lost or stolen. Thanks. You list it as lost or stolen, and it pops up a little message on the screen. This phone is, blah, 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 been stolen or lost. With some instructions, call this number, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't really an option because what these people did was they took the phone and they immediately ditched the SIM card because I assume they're professional cell phone thieves. They couldn't be that professional.
or just thieves
I
in
tracked
general.
their fucking address. Like literally, I know where they live. So anyway, so deactivate the phone, turn it on lost mode. Ideally, when the SIM card is left in it, it stays connected to cellular service because they can't connect it to Wi-Fi unless they're at a place you already are auto connecting to, like
Right,
home
'cause
or
they can't
whatever.
get on the phone
They can't get on the phone, log in. So once you take the SIM card out, cell service was gone. But on the iPhones, and I think Samsung's as well, as long as the phone has power, as long as it's on, you can still track the phone. So it's like less
They took the SIM card out and didn't power it off.
correct.
Yeah, they're idiots.
Dumbasses. Yeah. So if there's battery, I think, and I think this is what the guy at Verizon told me, if there's battery, even if it's not on, the phone can be tracked.
If there's a battery in it.
Because haven't you ever seen the thing where it says phone is findable even when it's dead? It always says that.
Yeah. So that's probably what it is.
so
so-
even had they powered it off.
Even had they powered it off for until the phone is like all the way dead, like dead, it's still trackable. So what happened was I tracked the thing obsessively in the middle of the night, like all night long. I feel like every hour on the hour. I had an old phone, which grab that thing right there. This is what I walked around with for the last 2 days. I had an old phone that wasn't connected to cellular, and I walked around with this thing connected. Yeah, just hanging out of my pocket and shit. Anyway, pretty funny.
You're like a Wi-Fi tower.
Yeah, it was my my Wi-Fi tower. Thanks to my assets team for buying unnecessary shit because wouldn't you know it became necessary.
Came in handy.
Anyhow, I tracked that shit every hour. I would wake up throughout the day, every 10 minutes. We're at my son's basketball game. I don't think I watched 2 plays because I was more focused on the movement of this thing. So we watched it go from one location to the other, and then it sat at this apartment in Fremont, Nebraska. Of course, in an apartment complex. So we call, what can we do with the cops? First thing is, I'm just going to grab my gun and I'm going to go there. And I'm like, well,
Maybe not.
I just
Bit
didn't.
little vigilante justice.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I would have if I wouldn't have had to awkwardly go like knock on. Like, who am I
You
going
didn't-
to?
You didn't know the
I didn't know
apartment
who.
number or
Right.
anything. Yeah.
So then we're like, all right, well, we call the cops. What are they going to say? Yeah, there's 265 units in that
Yeah.
apartment complex. Where do you want us to start? We did have it narrowed down to like one area of
Building.
one building.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably had it narrowed down to 3 or 6 apartments that it was possible. So now I'm like, I think I could probably go knock on these 6 doors and find who the fuck stole my phone.
But even then, they're not going to be like, yeah, I did.
Right. And I can't be like, bitch, I got you on like, I didn't know.
Right.
So Lindy was like, are we going to go? I said, I'm going to see if this thing moves. So we'll see how it goes. And then ultimately it moved. It moved to Walmart and it stayed at Walmart. I'm like,
Overnight.
okay, these fuckers are working the overnight shift at Walmart or Lindy and I were looking up, do they have cell phone? Like, do they sell cell phones there? Because, sometimes you can upgrade or trade in or whatever. So I'm thinking that might be it. And then your wife.
The wife was.
Clutch.
Yeah, Jordan mentioned the sell your cell phone machines.
Correct.
They literally look like an ATM machine that you stick your phone in and you get money right out of it. Like it looks like a true ATM with 3 different cameras on it. So that was easy.
This fucking
So,
business.
Got them.
Yeah. So the end of the story, we'll jump right to the end of that, is we found the phone. Had to go get a cop. The business is, they're in business to encourage people to steal cell phones, because without this fucking business,
The guy made $275.
Yeah. Without this
Crazy.
business, and if my screen wasn't cracked, he could have made $450.
Wow.
Oh, so it like evaluates the
It
phone
evaluates the
condition
phone.
and everything.
Yeah, and
I
I've got
gotcha.
a piece of tape on my phone. Look.
Still got
Sorry.
$200 for it. Jesus.
Yeah. 275.
That's crazy.
So without this business, there's literally no reason in 2022 or 2023 to steal a cell phone. You can't do shit with it. Everything's password protected. It's all controlled.
But now there's a machine you can sell them.
Right.
Yeah.
Now there's a machine
And
that
there were 15 others in the bucket. So if you're missing a cell phone, that's and it
check
was
the
stolen.
bucket in Fremont, Nebraska.
Yes, go check.
I'm sure there's a couple people with just
Oh,
like
yeah.
old cell phones or like get a couple bucks for it.
Yes.
But
Right.
you're right. a lot of
Probably
them are
more
probably
thieves.
stolen.
Correct. And their protocol, what's the name of the company again?
Eco ATM.
Eco-
ECO ATM.
Eco ATM. Big shout out to them,
Yes.
because their stolen phone protocol is on point. Like, we were able to call in.
Well, to that point,
Correct.
they probably do it.
So why is
all
their
the time.
fucking stolen phone protocol the best part of their business? Probably because it's mostly what they deal with is in stolen phone calls. And there are laws that do not allow them to take stolen goods, so they don't have a choice but to have that protocol. Otherwise, their business would be shut down in a matter of one stolen phone.
They were able to tell us exactly what time the transaction was made, which made complete sense because that's exactly when we tracked it at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
So it was literally a no-brainer. And I did file a police report, and the cameras on the machine, plus we know the time, like everything. We did the investigation for the.
So if you're listening to the Protect Your Purpose podcast, Mr. Fremont criminal,
Sure you do.
they're coming for you, bro. The Fremont Police Department is on your shit. But we did good. We got the phone back. I was pissed at the business, but they were super helpful.
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
Keep your phone near you if you're going
Don't
to
be a
charge
20-some-year-old bimbo who plugs their phone.
Yeah. Don't be an idiot. Fucking plug your phone in a hallway of a. Listen, it was like a.
It's like setting candy out for a kid. and
It
tell
was
him
like
not to
a
eat
private
it.
event. That we were the only people in the like a hotel lounge, swanky ass hotel downtown. Like,
last place you'd expect somebody to swipe your phone.
Right.
And take it to Fremont of all places.
Ain't nobody stealing a broken ass cell phone, hiking it down. What the hell were they doing there anyway? So I thought it was a safe place. Anyway, what else you want to talk about today? Money. You want to talk about money? I want to talk about money.
Yeah, you were hot and bothered before we got started.
Well,
I'm curious about what this is about.
I'm going to try not to get hot and bothered because Ian said we have to do a lighthearted episode. I don't know, whatever the fuck that means. So,
He just,
No midget jokes.
right, we're not
I'll cut
allowed-
it.
Fucking Ian, you're fired, bro. Ian won't let us say midget. I'm surprised we can even say fart. Can we? You're not going to cut all the fart words out, are you?
Oh boy.
All right, good. And then he tells me I got to be nice on an episode.
He didn't say nice.
What'd you call it?
Light.
Light. I got to be lighter. Lighthearted.
Is that a fat joke?
Yeah.
I said lighthearted, yeah.
I got to be more lighthearted.
Yeah, you
If
gotta
not, it makes Ian uncomfortable.
keep the tone down a little tonight.
Well, what I wanted to talk about was money. Wasn't there something else you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay, my turn.
I thought you had a topic. Whatever. If you think about it, you chime on in.
Okay.
Money, though. Money is a topic that a lot of people don't like to talk about. And what reminded me of this was today.
In what regards?
All of it. People don't, they don't like to talk real things about money. Like people love to talk about how broke they are or even how rich they are or whatever, but a lot of people don't like to talk about money. It's one of those uncomfortable topics where there are many people who won't tell people like intimate details of their financial situation, which I think is a mistake as a whole. Like I think not talking about money is a mistake. When you look at, manifestation, when you look at coaching, when you look at counseling, when you look at growth, I mean, what's the catalyst of all of those things? I mean, they say your net worth is your net work, right? If you want to change your future or if you want to know someone's future, look at who they have them around them. All of these things for growth and goals and all of it, all are centered around conversation, like the IDS process: identify, discuss. How do you fucking grow financially without discussing money? So I've noticed, like, I'll meet total strangers. Like if they're in the business world or if they're, if they're just people who are interested, growth oriented, and they're open to talk about shit. Like I'll ask a total stranger how much money they make.
Oh yeah.
Total
does.
stranger.
I'm a witness of that.
Yep. And sometimes people are taken back. I think sometimes I surprise people because you're like, did this fucking guy just ask me how much money I make? Like, but how can I have this conversation with you if I don't know where you're coming from? I mean, you make $30,000 a year, you make $75,000 a year, do you make $300,000 a year? Do you make $700,000? Do you make $1 million a year? That shit matters if you're talking about shit that matters about. And when money makes the world go round, what isn't centered around that? Very, very few things aren't centered when you're talking about goal setting and when you're talking about growth around money. I think it's a key element, and oftentimes people just leave it out because it's awkward or because, maybe I assume people have some sort of insecurities about how much money they make or how much money they
100%.
have
Or how much they spend.
or how much they spend. Right. But I mean, if you don't talk about
And
it,
you're
how
talking,
do you ever find out?
You're talking more outside of like husband and wife conversation, right? You're talking
Bingo.
about, I'm
That too.
assuming. You're talking about like friendships or people you trust or people you look up to or a financial advisor or
All of those routes.
all the above.
I think
any
any-
pick one.
Right. I think if you are trying to grow, let's say you're trying to lose weight, what do you talk about when you go out to dinner?
And you
Right.
gonna eat.
Right.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, someone's like, oh, you're on a diet. Or you have to fucking tell everyone, I'm on a diet, so I can't have that. And then what do you start talking about? Oh, what kind of diet are you on? How's that going? Blah, 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 blah. What do you do when you post your meal? What do you do when you go to the gym? You post it's like accountability for all of these things that you want to grow, but nobody talks about fucking money.
So you're saying I should go to the restaurant and talk about how much the dishes are like, well, this one's $25. I'm on a financial diet. I'm gonna have to go for the $12 meal.
You should go to the ATM and post selfies of pulling money out of the ATM.
Yeah.
Got $100, bitch.
No.
I'm on a financial diet. I'm gonna copyright that shit, dude.
Financial diet. Yeah, I got 100. That's just getting your own money. What I mean is what's working for you and what's not working for you. Having conversations with people around you. If you want to fucking grow your strength, you go to a strength coach, right? A strength coach can provide you some really good insight on how to build strength. If you want to build strength, you're going to also talk to your friends who also might have built some level of strength. It doesn't take a professional strength builder. It just takes somebody else who is on that journey. You can learn from everybody.
On that journey, or better than you at that moment in time.
And everybody, whether you fucking are one of those people who say, I don't care about money, or money doesn't buy happy, like, you want to retire with no money in your bank account, or you want to not have to worry about money when you retire? Well, then guess what? If you've got a 401k, or you've got a retirement plan, or if you think about retiring, you care about money. And if you care about money, just like you care about your diet, or what they say a joke in CrossFit, it's an age-old joke. First rule of CrossFit, it's always talk about CrossFit.
Talk about CrossFit.
Accountability, like putting yourself out there. Hey, I'm going to earn 6 figures this year. Like, there should be no reason why somebody who weighs 275 pounds should put on Facebook, I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year for accountability, and someone who makes $40,000 a year shouldn't put on Facebook, I'm going to earn $70,000 this year for accountability. There is no reason why you shouldn't be talking to someone else who is also focused on wealth building and financial growth as we do everything else, because it's required. If not, you're alone. So you got to strengthen these muscles just like everything else. You've got to do your own research, search online, read a financial book, read some financial growth books. That's one aspect of it. You have to actually practice what you're learning. Okay, that's going to the gym. And then you've got to discuss, you've got to plan, you've got to vision build, you've got to bounce ideas off each other. And that element of it is so foreign to people. And I see it every day because it's not foreign to me.
Why do you think that is? Because it's always been that way.
Because we were indoctrinated to believe that money is fucking evil. And because, do you take any financial classes in school? No.
Right.
They don't teach you any of this. Why? Because they don't want us talking about it. This was supposed to be lighthearted, and Ian's getting upset. I could see it visibly.
He literally just got up and left.
I made him mad. Yeah, that's why I think it is, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, why I go on a tear on this, because it's awkward to people, but the people that it's awkward to are oftentimes the people that need it the most. Because I could tell you one thing, I've got rich friends that have no fucking problem talking to you about their money. Like, ask them. They want to teach you. They want to tell you
how to succeed.
They want you to succeed, right? Most people who are wealthy and who have built, a notable level of success quickly convert that
capitalistic approach.
Yeah, they want They want people to succeed.
I feel like a lot of it is changing recently or maybe it's just the business aspect rather than the money. Maybe it's a little bit of both, but a lot of people lately, within the last 6 months, and I don't know if it's a podcast, but they have asked me several times if you could talk to them about certain topics or certain things. Because
I love that.
Because I feel like people are like, oh, he makes it sound really easy. And
because it is really easy.
It's achievable.
Dude, it also boils down to the one word we've been saying.
Discipline.
Okay, there it is.
Is that the one?
That's the word.
Yeah.
Everything's about discipline, man.
Yeah. I heard
that Amazon cart can be full all hours of the day, but do you click shipped to my house tomorrow,
Right.
like my wife does.
Yes. Yeah, discipline, man. It's I heard Sean talking about his book saying something that I say all the time. It's the action items. You can read all the fucking books you want. Like, you can have all the conversations you want. You convert it. I always do the gym as an analogy because it's so easy with strengthening and discipline and growth, and it's so visible, and you could see the results. They're so much more clear than a lot of things. But if you read all the books on all the workouts and then you don't go to the gym, you will get zero stronger. So you have to do the action items, which we've talked about recently on previous shows. Moving into action items is the most key element of growth and success. You have to understand it, but it's the solution phase. The solution phase, the S phase, is where you get the action items. Okay, that's how that. Okay, I've identified a problem. I'm too fat. I'm overweight. I feel like crap. I'm poor. I'm paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
I'm struggling to pay my bills. Paycheck. Okay, got it. Identify. Now you've got to discuss it. If you skip this phase, you're probably going to make a wrong action item. You have to discuss it. And just like all other things, finding diving deep into what the issue is oftentimes requires some other people, some insight, an advisor, a coach, a friend, someone to get a different perspective, a blind spot perspective on, or something. And I think when you're talking money, people avoid that. And I think it's a lot of people's downfall. I've always had a lot of people reach out to me to talk to me about this because I'm always so open. And I know it comes off as like arrogant, braggy and shit, which I'm not. It's the opposite of that.
Right.
I've been broke as shit, and I've been pretty well off and rich, and I've been broke as shit again. And I've gone through these cycles, and I have some shit to offer people. And I feel if I don't, if I silence myself because I want to spare them an awkward moment of talking about their finances, I'm doing them a fucking disservice. Like, I'm not helping you if I'm not helping you grow and I know how to,
right?
And you don't, So but it does. It comes off as arrogant. People they shy away from it. And my message to all the listeners and viewers is get that shit out of your brain. Like, stop saying you don't care about money because you do. Okay? If you don't care about money.
Where have I heard that recently? It was somewhere where they're like, people say they don't care about money, but anybody you ask if they want to be comfortable when they retire will tell you yes.
It was this podcast.
It was me.
It was literally this podcast.
Okay. No.
Trust me, I listened to it like 7 times when I edited.
It was me. It was me.
One thing that stood out from your ServPro Christmas party, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you told everybody that night, if I could pay you all what I thought you were worth, I would go broke 90 days. But what I can do for you is I can show you ways to work your money so that obviously you can do other things and make other money in other, aspects of their life. But I thought that was really cool.
Thanks for thinking I'm cool. It is a unique way of looking at things and this is for everyone who is an employee. There are very few positions, in the world where as an employee you can become wealthy or financially free. Very few positions. Of these few positions, a lot of them are made men, super experience driven. Like you're not taking on one of these roles with no experience. Like, you're a high level individual with tons of experience and probably a direct connection. Other than that,
or a high speed commission job if you're a go getter,
right?
Yeah.
So other than that, the only way you can do it as an employee is in a sales, like a commission base with a high ceiling, a high capacity to produce whatever it is you're selling in the company. So you can be the greatest salesman in the world, but if you work for, Bob's Heating and Air, Bob can only do $20,000 worth of work at one time. Like, you're not going to be a salesman for Bob's Heating and Air and become wealthy because Bob can't produce the sales that, you would
capable of.
Right. That would be required for you to build wealth. So again, back to the point is there's a few jobs. There's very few roles as employees that you can use to build wealth off of the financial compensation from the company.
Correct.
But what there is no shortage of is good paying jobs that allow you, with some discipline and some conversations and some knowledge and some coaching and some advice and some research, effort, putting forth actual fucking effort to do actual shit to make money. There are millions and millions of jobs. We offer them where they're good enough paying jobs that can give you enough money to start investing in a side hustle. Again, like the last thing we talked about, the problem is most people don't know this. Because why? Because they've never learned it. Instead, they learned to be quiet about their money and that's private. We shouldn't be telling people how much you make. It's rude to tell people how much you make. No, it's rude if you know how to make $100,000 a year pretty fucking easily and the dude who's making $50,000 a year has no idea. I would say it's rude to not tell that person. Not only that, that's successful people know this. Simple fact. The more you give, the more you will receive. That is included in that is knowledge. When I give someone knowledge, it benefits me. Not only does it benefit my heart and feed my soul and feed my purpose, but it also lets the universe know that I want other people to win. And when my energy comes off as I want you to win, guess who wins? Me. Always. I explained this to my kids just the other day. Whatever you give, you can expect to receive in return. Are you always going to receive it? No. I use this simple analogy. You're walking through the mall. If you want somebody to smile at you, what do you have to do?
Smile at them.
And if you walk by them and you give them a mean mug, what are they going to do? They're probably going to be scared of you or mean mug you back or say, what the hell is your problem? Why are you grilling me? Like, what's your issue? You're certainly not going to be rewarded for it. So now on the flip side of that, you could be walking through the mall and give someone a smile and they won't smile back. Yeah. Well,
then you just flick them off.
No, then you move the fuck on and you
Flick
say,
off.
You say, what a miserable person.
I'm
I
just
just
kidding.
gave that person a big, beautiful smile and they were rude and miserable. Why? So what's going to happen to them?
Dude, I'll tell you
They're putting off that shitty energy and the universe will return shitty energy.
a real quick story that is relatable to that is we tithe with our church, right?
Your shit is good.
It's good, yes.
Very good.
We tithe with our church, and this is probably a couple years ago now. Jordan was talking about tithing more, and I was like, and this is when we were struggling more.
Sure.
I'm like, man, like, really? Like, we can't afford another bill, you know?
Yep.
And she's like, I think we're going to do it. Because same thing. You put out and you receive. No bullshit. The day we tithed, the next day she found like $20 on the ground or something like that. It was just something so
Instant
random
karma.
like that. I'm like, man, okay. I'm convinced.
Yeah, dude.
We've kept the tithe the same, you know, but like
Yeah.
you said, man, the energy you put off, the things you put off, come back to you tenfold, man.
So
It's
true.
awesome.
And I think they understood it by the end of the conversation.
Oh, the boys. I laid into them.
Just today, Cash bought his pair of shoes. In case, and I just remembered, he said, man, I am so jealous of you.
It's good. So I taught my kids this and this. That's awesome to hear. It's that haterade, man, and it's natural. Jealousy. When you do something good, when you made E8, like I was jealous of that. I always wanted that. That was, you know, at one point it was a real serious goal of mine. And when Lindy made E7, she made E7 before I did. Same day as you.
Right.
I was jealous of that. And I didn't fully understand it then. My mom, wise, of course, says, Matthew, you can't be everything to everyone. That's her thing. She gave me her own piece of advice that kind of brought me to some peace for it, or some peace with it. But what I wanted my kids to understand is that that's natural. You're going to be jealous of what other people have. Like,
Always.
always. You're going to see something that you can't have or you don't have. You're going to naturally want it. You're going to have an ugly feeling that's going to take over. And you have to, at that point, recognize the ugly feeling, deal with it inside, and then you have to convert that. You have to deliver it to the world in an honest, compassionate support. Like, you have to deliver good energy to the world. You have to convert it somehow. And I've always found my best way is just being honest. Like, when you do something good, I say, dude, I'm so jealous of that.
Right.
And then how does that make it's received as a compliment. Like, I just told you the truth.
Right.
Like, I'm so jealous that you were able to accomplish that and I haven't. And then immediately you leave that with support. I'm so proud of you for being able to do that. Like, what a hell of accomplishment that you've, achieved. And you have encouraged me and motivated me. I'm now going to do that or whatever.
Right.
Kaysen, my younger son, had a kind of clean little pair of dunks, these little camo dunks. He just never wore them. So they're neat, clean ass, sellable condition. And we were telling me you could probably get $200 for it, and Cash immediately went after him, being a hater. Like, oh, they're dirty, or they're, just hate, sending hate. And by the end of the conversation, Cash was trying to clean up his old dusty ass pair of Jordans. And he was like, God, I'm so jealous of Kaysen. And I was like, yes, dude. Did you feel that Kaysen, did you hear that? And did you feel that all just get released? Like, you just said it. And I explained it to him, and I think they were finally old enough to get it. And as Lindy was saying.
Kaysen just said it today. I was so proud.
Yeah. Like, shit, it's okay.
Just the littlest comment like that can get it off of your shoulders and make someone else feel good.
Yeah. Then when your friends are building success and building wealth, like, even if you don't need it, like, it's natural to be like, ugh, they have something I want. Well, you can't be hating on that friend.
Right.
They won't be your friend very long. They're going to know that you're hating on them. Instead, you have to be like, that's awesome that they could do that. I wish I did that.
Matt also had to
and now I've got to
teach me
support
that.
my friends. Yeah.
You had to teach me that a couple months ago.
Well, Matt, too, I think that's something, too, I think a lot of people are afraid to talk about is being jealous, because I think there's two different forms of jealousy. There's negative and toxic jealousy.
Sure.
And then there's jealousy that you're talking about that you use as motivation.
Yeah.
A lot of people are, everyone's jealous. That's a normal and natural feeling to have. You can either A, be toxic about it, or B, use it to motivate your ass and get what you're jealous for.
And it is a naturally toxic. What are you laughing at?
I'm just laughing because I'm just so weird, man. Because I can look at something and be like, man, I'm so jealous. I want that. And then in the next sentence say, I'm not as motivated to fucking get that. So I'm never going to have that.
I'm jealous. I just don't want
I don't want to do what you had to do to get there.
That's right. That's
There's
part of
that
it.
too.
Yeah.
That's part of it. Actually, Ken, I think I've told that story
Yeah,
before
you
too.
I just thought about that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Before you said that.
Dude, all you have to do.
when you asked him if he ever wanted to be a
If
millionaire.
you want to be rich.
Yeah, be rich.
You want to be rich? And he said, of course I did. I just didn't want to do what it took.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, man.
Crazy we all thought about that.
Fuck. Yeah, because it was powerful. It was an impactful statement when he said, like, well, duh. Do you want to be rich? Well, do you want to do what it takes? That's the answer.
question.
That's the question.
That's the question.
And most people don't. And those that do, I would go as far as to say most of them have no idea that they don't. But for everybody else who does and who has the grit, the good times are more plentiful than the bad. It's worth it.
It's the delayed gratification that people can't deal with, man.
Yeah, you got it. You have to be patiently aggressive, and go for it. Consistency,
Embrace the suck
discipline,
for
embracing the
as
suck,
long as
man.
possible.
Yeah, but if you can find the happiness in the journey,
Oh yeah, of course.
if you can find it's Cash is in basketball. He loses. We're like, man, losing's a part of the game, bro. Like, you're not gonna win every game, so get used to it. It's the same thing in youth basketball as it is business. Like, you're not going to win every position, every situation you're in. You're not going to win every quarter. You're not going to win every month. You're not going to win every year. But if you win more than you lose, you're in good shape. And if you're actually working on things.
Now, your basketball team sucks, so that's not going to happen. But in life.
In life, that's right. Well, I mean, if you suck at something, that's what I tell them all the time. Oh, do you want to be better? Yeah, so what do we have to do? Practice. Because when was the last time you practiced? He doesn't.
Right.
At school, he goes,
dude, I had this exact same conversation when my son was about that age, because he'd come,
Really?
he'd strike out in baseball or something and get pissed. I'm like, I'd tell him, you're not allowed to get mad, dude.
Can't get mad.
What did you do all week to prepare yourself for
Right.
that moment?
Right.
You didn't do anything. What are you mad about? You should have expected to strike out. That's
right.
what
I learned that lesson in golf because I would get so mad. I'm like, I can't throw my clubs. I can't believe I fucking shanked
You're
another
not good
tee
enough
shot.
to get mad.
Right. And now I took off. I took a 7-ish year sabbatical from the golf course, and now I go and I'm like, another shank tee shot. That's my third one.
Right on par, literally.
That's right. That's my third one on this tee box today off of this hole, and I just know I'm just going to pick up this ball.
Golf is a lot more
Move
fun
on.
when you come to that realization, though.
Yeah. Well, you start enjoying it. To that point, it's the same thing in
Anything.
business.
Yeah,
It's the same. Like, hey, man, I'll get better. I got to work these muscles out. I got to practice. I got to keep going.
Right now, it ain't there.
It ain't there. Anyway, finances. If you want to get better at finances, I would encourage you to knock down the walls of awkwardness. You've got friends. Talk about how much they make. Talk about how much,
or what they're investing in, or what.
Right. But most importantly, my advice to all employees, non-sales employees, okay? You're not going to be able to squeeze your employer, to Lindy's point on what I said at the Christmas party when I was up talking. Your employer probably appreciates you, but like we can't just raise our prices and price ourselves out. Like, it goes fast. Cash goes fast when you've got a lot of employees. And if they give everybody pay raises and make everybody, have that kind of money to where they can build wealth on that, the business will be out of business. You'll be looking for a new job, and then good luck with your wealth building with no job. And you'll be right back where you were. But what you can do is work on investments. I just had this conversation with my brother not long ago. You can get investments as small as a box of ammo. Ammo is appreciating, and it's appreciating quickly at higher rates than the stock market, for sure. You can buy a box of ammo for $16. If you get an extra $100, go buy some ammo. I promise you, next year, 1 year from today, you will be able to sell that ammo for more than you bought it for. Guaranteed. To a person. Matter of fact, go buy a box of ammo. I'll buy it from you in a year for more than you paid for. Okay? So I'll guarantee you 5% on your money. And you could start as low as $16.
Matt's not joking about that, by the way, for anyone who's listening.
Correct.
That's a promise.
Not a joke. It's a promise. Look me up. I'll be around. I'll have the money. You can buy small amounts of silver. You can take a small amount of money and invest in things and just start.
You can go garage sale hunting.
Then you get into the flipping world. So this is where it comes into work. And I'm gonna do a coaching class. A coaching business soon. It's not open. I'm opening it to my team first, but these are things that I'm going to help them with.
Uno mas.
Sure. These are things that I'm going to help them with. I'm going to try and help people start earning money. Is that too much? I feel like it was just right.
Never.
Never.
No, I was just trying to watch you talk and pour at the same
Yeah, I
time.
can't do
You
it.
can't do it. No, I don't.
He paused as he was pouring.
You got to start. You have to start somewhere. And like anything, like going to the gym, I'll go back to that. It's addicting because you're going to make your first $100 that you didn't work for. All you did was make a good decision. And then you're going to say, oh shit, I just PR'd. I just made $150 in a day on a side hustle. And then you're not going to need that money. And you're going to say, oh shit, now that I have 150 extra bucks plus the 100 that I already made, I've got 250
What else
bucks.
can I buy?
Right. and it's going to be addicting, and it's going to be your push-up PR or your bench press PR or your pull-up or whatever it is. It's just a different level of growth, but you've got to be able to talk about it. You've got to be able to ask people, hey, I've got $500. I can tell you right now, I hang around a bunch of rich ass people, and you know what they're always talking about? Investments. Hey, you got anything? Let me know if anything comes up. If you have any good idea. Like, they're talking about money, and they're talking about it with each other, with smarter people that have other lines to other connections and other networks and other investments that they can put them on with to make them grow. And there isn't a bit of hate. There's always jealousy, but there's no hate.
That's the best quote I've heard you say yet. Rich people talk about money.
Hell yeah, bro.
They're not afraid to talk about it,
No.
and it helps them.
And poor people think that they're arrogant.
Yep.
They are bragging. That they're
Take offense to it.
They take
Little
offense.
do they know, 99% of the rich people want everybody to succeed.
Correct.
Because when everybody succeeds, the economy is exceeding.
They succeed.
Everybody exceeds together. So
Succeeds or exceeds?
Both.
thanks.
I heard
Zach,
it.
I
I
got
heard
you.
it. I was gonna let it slide.
I saw you.
You fucking caught it though.
Do
I let
not
you
it
slide. I don't let her
You've
slide.
Got to
I
correct
let you
me.
slide a couple times last week.
Don't let me slide.
I remember.
Then I listened to it back. I'm like, what?
Oh, you said
dummy.
resignate instead of resonate.
Resonate.
We were listening together.
I'm gonna submit my resignation for this job.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe no one told you that this is one of those ones that you can't resign from.
Oh, right,
It's
right.
an irresignable.
I've got to make money. Speaking of side hustles, don't do things for free, people.
Yes. So we told Zach that he could have all of the money from iHeartRadio, which is
$0.00.
he got himself a Protect His Purpose sweatshirt and a hat.
Some
Did you get a hat?
whiskey.
I'm on the.
Some whiskey.
got
Yeah,
some
you give me
whiskey.
whiskey every week. That's my
Yeah, yeah.
payment.
That's right. My
good, man.
friendship.
And laughs and
enough for me.
memories.
You get my friendship. Listen, bro, you're going to be fucking famous because of me.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'll be
you
the
are.
guy behind the famous guy.
Everybody likes you better. They like you guys better than they like me. I was talking to one of my buddies today, Paul, and he was telling me that his wife listens to it, and he said, she loves you too.
Oh, man.
And I was like, oh, of course she listens
Everybody
because of
loves
Lindy.
Lindy.
Everybody loves Lindy. It's Lindy and
la,
Zach.
la, la.
The Lindy and Zach show.
That sounds like a sitcom. Everybody loves Lindy.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that the name of a show?
Oh, it was
Raymond.
Raymond.
Oh, yeah.
And then there
Well,
was...
I knew it wasn't my
He's
name.
way less cool than you, though.
Oh, yeah, Ray Romano.
My head is
Hardly
growing
funny.
by the minute.
Hardly even funny, that guy.
He's got the voice.
Oh, yeah. My dad loved Raymond, man.
It wasn't a bad show.
My
It
dad
was fine.
loved it.
It
My
was
mom
fine.
and dad used to watch Everybody Loves Raymond like it was their job.
That show.
They loved
I
it.
don't even know what that is.
Really?
But
Well, we'll have to watch it sometime. And
No, you
reminisce.
won't. You don't have to.
No, you won't. No, I will. All right, so what else do we want to talk about? You wanted to talk about something.
It came to her.
It did.
It did?
No.
But it
All right,
kind
what
of
is it?
relates to money because I feel like a lot of people either talk about it, about how people have changed with more money and more growth. And I feel like
yeah.
that also needs to be talked about because the truth is that people do change because they have grown in every aspect of their life. So automatically that changes someone.
Which I think, again, comes off as cockiness
Yes.
or arrogance.
Of course.
Yes.
And why?
And it's sad because
Because we're taught that.
we are taught that.
We were taught that.
So people
we're
think,
still being
people
taught
think
that.
you change, but really you.
You're
Do
just
you know-
growing yourself and
Do you
getting
know the
better as a
fucking idiot
human.
rich people that are on the red carpet with shirts on or dresses on that say tax the rich? You know, when our politicians and Hollywood and all the rich people are talking about the rich that are the rich, right? It's because they want to control us. In order for us to be more easily controlled, we have to not be rich. We have to be poor or dependent.
So we all need to hate the rich.
So they create a division between the rich and the poor, and they say, which side do you want to be on? The mean, evil, rich one? So then people are like, oh, he talks about his money. It was wrong. Okay, what do athletes talk about? Fucking athletics. What do business people talk about? Business. What do rich people talk about? Money. If you want to do that, you have to manifest it. You have to talk. You have to work through issues. You have to discuss things. You have to bounce ideas off of each other. It's the same thing, and it's because success has been vilified,
Demonized.
and it has made people... Dude, when you got your first car, you're poor as shit. It's no problem for a poor person to be like, I got my first car, bitches. Like, yes, check out my car. I'm posting a picture of it, right? But the moment you're rich, you can't post your shit anymore because then you've changed. Or because then you're bragging. Or then it's the same exact situation. We've talked about this before too. A trophy in basketball. Kid wins a championship, national championship. Like, dude, I worked my whole life. I built it. I grew. I got this badass award. I'm bragging about it, but not if it has anything to do with wealth. You can't brag on those because then you're bragging, and then you change, and it's because that is the social norm. That's the social contract that has been given to us by those before us. And a lot of times our grandparents, our parents, my parents. Yeah, our parents were in that age where my parents didn't. I mean, we weren't talking about money.
Right.
Like my dad talked to us about it because...
My mom would always say it's rude to ask.
Yeah.
You know, we keep that quiet. It's very personal.
Yeah. I love your mom.
Private.
Your mom was one of the best people I've ever known. And she was dead wrong.
Dead wrong.
She's dead wrong. I talked to my mom. My mom listens to the show, so she's probably going to be rolling her eyes. Pissed off. Because I said something one day about not buying a house. Because buying a house is a liability. You buy it, move into it. It's a dumb financial decision. And my mom said, well, that is not what your father ever said. And I'm like, and that is why my father was broke for most of his life. He did okay for a while in business. And he was a smart guy. Same profile as me, very close.
Same gene pool.
Same gene pool. Yeah.
They're basically the same.
My dad also didn't talk about finances. You know, he didn't learn the next level of finance and business. And had he done that, he would have taken any business that he had to the fucking moon, because he was held back by those things, by not having mentors and not being open.
Your dad was poor dad.
My dad was poor dad with a rich dad mentality. He was not poor dad.
Not the mentality of poor dad.
No, opposite of that. He had a rich dad mentality. He
didn't know what to do with it.
He just, yeah. And I feel like if my dad had just a couple really solid
also back then,
mentors,
coaching and counseling
Yeah.
and financial advisors,
Of course not.
all of that was not a thing.
right? And in the 70s and 80s, going to another man, asking another
Right.
man for help was also not happening. And anymore, you know, I mean, that's like EO. The whole premise of EO is because I think the story is Vern Harnish, the guy who's the founder of EO, lost a friend to suicide. And basically, he was a rich, successful businessman, had the world at his fingertips, but he was hurting inside and didn't have an outlet, didn't have anyone to go to. And he basically said, you know, I'm going to create an organization that's built on truth, built on trust, built on relationships, to where no entrepreneur ever has to feel that way again, and they always have an outlet.
And now it is a global networking group.
And the people in the networking group are, man,
the best.
they're growing. They grow. The purpose isn't to go in and network to gain business.
Grow your business, right?
It's to go in and grow yourself and grow your muscles so you can build your own shit, of course, but you're not like passing business back and forth. Oftentimes that's like forbidden or frowned. You have to get permission.
A lot of people think that's what it is from the outside too.
Yeah, it's not that kind of networking group.
Yeah, not your average networking
No.
group.
It's men and women of all walks of life across the whole world that literally are there to support each other. So like when
It's
I
like a
launched
fraternity for business, very, very successful business owners. Am I
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
They
And
have
there's-
their own chapters and
I mean, these people, I can tell you this. Everyone who's been in EO longer than 3, 4, 5 years, one of their goals is to help other entrepreneurs. Like one of their annual goals that they set this year was to go and mentor a young entrepreneur and try and make someone else a millionaire. Because that's what fucking rich people do. So all you people out there who think rich people are the devil and who are avoiding taxes and who are, you know, standing on the heads and corporate greed and causing inflation and all the other bullshit that the machine is feeding you, I'm here to tell you firsthand it's not true. I'm also here to tell you firsthand, if you are paying taxes, you are going to be poorer much longer than the people who are not paying taxes. So find yourself a nice legal way to not pay taxes. And how you do that is through a corporation. You start a business and you start doing something, anything. I don't care if you're entrepreneurial or not. I don't care if you want to be a business owner or not. You start a business and you start doing something. Because once you start that business, and it doesn't matter if it's flipping, you mentioned garage sailing or eBaying, or you go to Ross. There's Rosses everywhere. You go to Kohl's, go buy a backpack on sale at Ross for $5.99, and then list that shit on eBay for $19.99, and you will sell it. And when you sell it, you just made the money and you have a business. So now you have a reason to write off clothing. You have a reason to write off your part of your mortgage payment for your home office. You have a reason to write off part of your vehicle. You have a reason to write off gas. You're reducing your taxable income. So if you're making $50,000 a year and you have $10,000 worth of expenses that can otherwise be allocated to any business, the business doesn't even have to make money. It's better if it does. IRS purposes, but there's also a good bit of time before a business has to be profitable. I mean, it doesn't need to be profitable to have a business. Do anything, sell something, and then you get to reduce your taxable income, so your tax burden, by $10,000 worth of your income the moment you start doing anything else.
And if you're wondering why they wanted to hire 87,000 new IRS agents, it's to stop motherfuckers like that.
Right? And
from legally
to scare you. Legally
right. Using the system to make money.
And I'm also here to tell you, if you haven't started yet, don't worry about it. The tax code will never change. You know why? Because the rich people make the tax codes. And they're not going to do it to hurt themselves. If they do, they're always going to leave little loopholes for themselves.
And you can find them.
And then you just have to go find them. Right. You hire a good tax lawyer. Eventually it all comes out, or a tax accountant. And eventually it all comes out. The goal is to not pay taxes. Literally. How do you do that? You do it by spending money. The more you spend money, the less money you made. So you have to spend money on things that make you money.
That's why the Trump tax, releasing his taxes was such a joke, man. Like, he admitted he was doing the things rich people do to get by on their taxes.
I don't know why.
That was even a thing.
I don't know why that was even a thing.
Yeah, he said it in, like, debates. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
It was a thing. I know why it was a thing. It was a thing because he knew what they were doing. They were trying to, because he was rich, and as always, they're trying to vilify the rich. So they were trying to use that as a way to make him an even more of a villain than he already was.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is that people believe that that is wrong. Like, oh, the rich aren't being taxed. Well, they're also creating like 99% of the jobs. So if you need yeah, the rich are also providing the businesses and the products and the innovation. So I think there's some, moral boundaries that we should all kind of stick within. But tax code isn't fucking one of them. Okay. We shouldn't be paying any taxes.
We should all be trying to find the loopholes.
Correct.
Yes.
Nobody should be paying
The
taxes.
rich people just do it better.
Correct. The government should not be completely dependent on 100% on our tax dollars. That's number one. That's theft. That's modern day slavery. You fucking work, I take your money.
Right.
You go work for me and it's pimping. You go work, you bring it home, I'll let you know what you get to keep. Thank you. We are the hoes. I appreciate you. And The ones who are mad at Donald Trump are the hoes that didn't figure out how to become the pimp. You don't need some sort of a corporation is a couple pieces of paper. Like that's all it is. You don't need some magical fucking business degree. You don't need to be lucky. You need to spend a few hours, find you a good mentor, find another person who's opened a small business, or find a couple $100 and pay a lawyer or an accountant to file for your articles, file for your corporate, your legal entity. And boom, you've got a business. Now just tell your accountant, hey, I'm going to start selling used backpacks from whatever. I'm selling used backpacks. Can you help me? Yes. And the accountant's going to say, good. You can write off your, how often are you using your cell phone? How often are you using your car for this? What are you doing? Okay, you can do this, you can do that. He's immediately going to start telling you deductions. Every time he tells you that is a way you are saving money. And now what you do with that money is you don't go upgrade your house. You don't go buy a new pair of shoes. You don't go buy a new car. You then take that money and you actually invest it on something that is going to make your business more money. It's going to generate more income. It's going to allow you more tax deductions. And ultimately, the goal is
More money.
Right. You keep more of your money and then you get to spend it on other shit. How do you legally save money on taxes? You spend money. That's how. You make less money so you owe less taxes. Well, if you spend money on other shit that makes you more money, it's money well spent and you didn't pay any taxes.
Boom. There's your tax lesson for the night,
There it is.
for the year, for the week.
Ayo.
I guess that was a tax lesson. I am not an accountant. You should talk to your accountant.
Hashtag not
Also
a
not a
doctor.
lawyer. I'm kind of a doctor. What else were we talking about? Anything? Are we keeping
We
it
got
a
some
secret?
guests coming.
Oh, yeah, we got some
things
more
in the
guests
works.
coming. That's right.
I'm excited.
We got some more guests coming. We are also adding, Ian, correct? We're adding a second show coming up soon.
What are you talking about?
A second show during the week.
Oh, he put
What?
it out there. He
Aren't
put
we
it
doing
out
that?
there.
Yes, of course we are.
Done.
Manifest.
When are we doing that?
Done.
The week of February 1st.
Oh.
2 shows a week.
Well, okay, this part might be edited because you're also not going to be here. So we do need to discuss the February film schedule because you're going to be in other countries. But yes.
He's doing the finger quote. He's doing. We'll be. Wilson. We'll be
Finger
on
quotes.
location. We'll be.
Take our.
But yeah, moral of the story is we are doing what I am calling the ramp up. I've named it. It's called the ramp up.
Okay.
So if you've not noticed, as this episode is already out, we've been ramping up all of our social medias, which, by the way, if you're a new subscriber or follower, thank you very much because we have been growing the fastest this channel's ever grown.
Boom.
And it's all organic. People that we don't know. Different countries,
YouTube,
different
Instagram, TikTok. Go find us. Is that it?
Twitter,
Rumble.
Rumble.
That's what we were going to talk about.
We're
Our
gonna
new,
talk about
our
something
new haters on Instagram.
Oh.
And-
Yes. Ladies
Hey,
and
we've
gentlemen.
officially made it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
Okay.
have haters.
Haters. Not
We
even
have
for what we
haters
thought
that-
we'd get haters
So what did the
for.
haters say? Tell us about it.
What was the
It was
main
your
one?
morning
Oh, it was the
post.
morning post when you said nobody's a morning person.
I've
We
been
got
getting
a lot of people pissed off that you excluded that. No, I've been waking up at 5 a.m. my entire life.
For 50 effing years.
The hell do you know?
and then the cereal one.
Oh, the cereal
Ice
one when
cream
you
doesn't
compared
have
ice
fiber.
cream. When you compared ice cream to cereal.
Listen, I want to know who the guy is who said he's waking up at 5 a.m. and I want to know what time he goes
I
to
looked
bed.
at it, and his. When you click on his profile, it says, "I'm trying to be the best human I can be."
It says,
Hey, carpe diem, brother.
vaccinated.
Carpe diem. He's waking
No.
up at 5 a.m.
I know what it says. It says, I'm a victim. Don't forget about me. Don't forget about how sad I am.
T's
Don't
and
forget about how
P's.
sad I am.
Thoughts and
Thoughts and prayers go out to the people in Aurora.
Oh, Anthony Jeselnik will take a shout out for that if you
Yes. AJ.
want. Oh,
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's
You got
where
it like that.
we're tight. Yeah.
what's up, Tony? Hit us up.
Tony. So I want to know what time the guy who is mad because thinks he's a morning person. I want to know what time he goes to bed.
I want to know how many kids he has.
Yeah, there's some details I want to know, Mr. Morning Person. So if you're listening to this and you're a morning person and you've got beef with it,
But you literally said in the thing,
Yes.
a morning person is somebody that wakes up happy and blah blah blah. And there's
Right. Did you wake up?
Still takes discipline to
Were
get
you
out of
happy,
it.
you dick? Let me ask you a question, you 50-year-old bastard. You ever had a bad fucking day where you didn't want to go? Were you ever sick in 50 years? You didn't want to get out of bed because all of a sudden you weren't a morning person anymore, were
all
you?
50 years.
Yeah.
Didn't miss one 5 a.m. wake up.
5 a.m. And I want to know what time you went to bed. I know what time you went to bed. Fucking 8 o'clock. And if you go to bed at 8 p.m., everybody's a morning person because you can't fucking sleep that long.
Matt, what's that called?
Someone said
Discipline.
Discipline.
Someone said 04 every day, and 5:30. I push it to 5:30 on the weekends.
Yeah, what time do you go to bed, you weak-ass loser? Lame-o? Dustin
I'm sure
Lotman.
you're all great people.
Dustin Lotman,
Shout out, Dustin.
he's a 5 a.m.er every day.
He goes to bed at like 8.
He's in bed. He tells like, yep, Jen's up late. I'm in bed. Yeah, morning person. Actually, he's a perfect person to ask about morning people because he's the perfect example. Like, I have to go to bed because if not, I'm not going to be a morning person tomorrow.
Right.
So it's dictated by how I can tell
It's
you
a
one
relative term.
thing. Listen here, Mr. 5 a.m. for 50 years. You bet your sweet ass you go out with me and my wife on Friday night. You won't be in the kitchen making coffee at 5 a.m. Unless you're making hangover medicine, unless you're drinking caffeine and ibuprofen to solve your hangover. You go out with some of our people. You're not a morning person anymore.
And for the people that hated on the ice cream and cereal short, we got one thing to say to you. Stop it. That's where you draw the line is our cereal.
Stop.
What'd they say?
Stop it.
We're too soft.
No, they
That
said ice cream doesn't have fiber in it.
But he said,
Freaking soft people complaining about cereal now.
Just stop it.
how soft are we becoming that we have to?
There's a war on cereal.
Which side are you on, Matt?
We're going against big
Pick your
cereal.
We're going up against big cereal.
Better watch out, Kellogg. We're coming for
Fuck
you.
that fucking little Lucky Charm better watch his ass.
Oh,
General Mills, we're coming.
listen here. Cereal is a bowl of ice cream. It contains
With
little
more fiber.
little to no nutritional value. And if you're eating cereal every morning, I promise, you're going to need to spend a lot of... You better be up at 5 a.m. You better be a fucking morning person. Your ass better be at the gym right after that bowl of cereal. Or eventually you're going to have a fucking donut growing around your waistline. Because that's what happens to people that eat cereal every morning. I'm serious. And
I'm cereal.
yeah, I'm very cereal. Listen, I have the donut. And I don't even eat cereal.
And we're done.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining. Sir, ma'am.
Sir.
I won't assume your pronoun. One time, my
They.
mom. So check this out. I got a quick story to end this. Sorry. No, he didn't.
We're not recording anymore.
My mom was here. My mom was here, and I
She
told her
thought
that
Ian was a lesbian, didn't
I
she?
told her that Ian was a gay Democrat.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, Mom, respect Ian. He's a gay Democrat, so you got to watch what you say around him. She was like, he's not really a Democrat, is he? She was perfectly okay. She's like, I got nervous.
That's perfect.
Because, I mean, I don't care
That's
if he's
awesome.
gay, but he's not really a Democrat, is he? No, Ma. He's not. He's not. He's an independent. He's a proud libertarian.
Former Democrat.
Ian was a Democrat. He's not
You
touching.
guys really don't have to keep talking
He's
to
not-
mics. We've been off for like 2 minutes.
He's not
He
touching
didn't even
anymore.
close it out.
No, hey, thank you.
Lindy, how we feeling?
Dying, actually.
Bit gassy?
No, I'm just kidding.
She's like, get me the fuck out of here.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming. Appreciate you being here,
Thank
as
you
always.
for coming.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for the whiskey.
And remember,
Thanks for the paycheck.
find your purpose, serve your purpose, and protect your purpose, people. Love you.
Boom.